Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Sunday School again. This week I'm going to be taking Sunday School and we're going to learn a little bit more about the story of David. Last week, if you think back, Claire and Eloise told us the story about David and Goliath. Today we're going to move on to 1 Samuel chapter 24 and we're going to learn about how David was merciful. Now, merciful is a very, very big word, but I think if we were to make it easier for us, we would say that merciful means to be kind. So if we were in Sunday school now, you know that I'd be asking you what sort of things would you do to show someone that you were kind. If you were kind, you might share things with someone, you might help someone who's lonely, you might be able to go and do a little job for somebody who maybe can't do something themselves. Those are all examples of how to be kind. In our story today, we're going to learn about how David was kind. I want you to look at these few little pictures of objects and see, can you work out what we might have said about David? He had a kind what? Can you spot what's on this one? And another one. And another one. This is our last one. There's lots of them in this. Hopefully, boys and girls, you've noticed that we might say that David had a kind heart. I want you to listen really carefully to the story and see, can you tell me at the end why David had a kind heart?
Our story begins in a place called En-gedi, which is near the Dead Sea. King Saul had been chasing David throughout the land of Israel, and when Saul heard that David was hiding in the wilderness near En-gedi, he took 3,000 men and went in search of David. Saul went into a cave. He didn't realize it, but David and his men were inside the cave.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like inside a cave? I think it might be dark, cold, possibly even scary.
The men told David that this was his chance to attack Saul and do what he wanted to him, just as had been promised. David wasn't sure, but he crept carefully up to Saul, and instead of hurting him, he cut a piece of his cloak and took it with him.
Why do you think David cut off part of Saul's cloak instead of actually hurting him?
Afterwards, David was very cross with himself. He felt guilty for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, "The Lord forbid me to do any harm to my master. I should not have done it." With these words, David sharply told his men not to hurt Saul, and Saul left the cave and went his way. David went out of the cave and called out to Saul. When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, "Why do you listen when men say David is going to harm you? This day you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord saved you whenever you fell into my hands in the cave. Some of my people wanted me to kill you, but I didn't do it. I said, I will not lay hand on my Lord, because he is the Lord's anointed." When David finished speaking, Saul asked, "Is that your voice, David, my son?" And he wept aloud. He was so upset. He said, "You have treated me well, but I have treated you so badly. You have just told me about the good you did to me. You could have really hurt me today, but you didn't." He said, "May the Lord reward you well for the way you treated me today. I know that you will surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel will be yours."
In our story today, we learnt about how David had a kind heart. If we think about the letters of the word heart, H-E-A-R-T, we can try to relate them to how David behaved in the story. Let's have a look and see.
If we think of the first letter of the word heart, H is for happy. If we are to have a healthy heart, we must tell people how we feel. If we're feeling cross, we need to tell people. If we're sad or angry about something, we should talk to someone about it, because bottling up our problems doesn't help. The second letter is E. E is for empathy. Now that's a big word, but empathy helps us to understand how our friends are feeling. It's a very important thing, and it also helps us as we go through life. If we can learn to do this, it will help us to become much better friends. The third letter is A. A is for apologize. We need to be able to say sorry when we make a mistake. Sometimes this can be difficult, but if it is something we must learn to do, and it will really help us. It makes for a happier place if we are able to say sorry to our friends. The fourth letter is R. R is for respectful. When we talk about showing respect, we are obeying the 10 Commandments which God gave us. They're His rules. We looked at those last year in Sunday school. It's about doing things which are right. However, we can also show respect for everyone we meet by treating them well and in a way that we would like to be treated. David showed respect for King Saul because he didn't hurt him when he could have. The final letter today in our word heart is T. T is for trust. Being a trustworthy friend is a great thing to be. Just like David, we should all trust in God in the good times and in the bad times. And I know that things have been very difficult for us since March, whenever we had to stop going to school and stop going to Sunday school and rainbows and brownies and beavers and cubs. But we have to trust that God is doing things the way He wants them to be, and that we believe that God is going to look after us and bring us all back together again soon. So as we conclude our Sunday school today, we're going to do two things. We're going to sing a song, but just before that we're going to pray together. So if everyone closes their eyes, we're going to talk to God.
Dear God, thank you for the story of David and the example of how to have a healthy, happy heart. Thank you for the times when we can empathise and understand how our friends feel. Thank you for the people who look after us when we are sad or struggling. Please help us to respect others and help us to be people who can be trusted. Please help us always to be willing to say sorry and to forgive. In these strange times that we're living in, we thank you that you're keeping us safe and that we've been able to now go out and enjoy doing things a lot more. Hopefully, as things continue to improve, we will be able to meet together soon. Please keep us safe until then. Amen. And we'll all say the Lord's Prayer together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Boys and girls, enjoy singing the song, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon. Bye.
Our God is a great big God.